the brand new Zelda game headed to Wii U.
So the latest Nintendo Direct has come and gone. While we as expected got Twilight Princess HD, we did also get a small unexpected peek and taste of the magical and forbidden fruit which makes up the world of Zelda Wii U. This after a drought of being denied access for well over 11 months. And though the 12-second clip did not show much of the game, it actually held a well-guarded hint as to how this game will play. Since you might have noticed that each of Link's primary items, including the shield, the bow, the sword and the tunic, are different from the ones visible in the E3 2014 reveal and last year's Game Awards. However, apart from the gigantic sword, just look at that thing. These are not different items but upgraded versions of those seen in previous showings, implying that crafting might have a much more central position in this installment compared to previous titles. I'm therefore being joined by Zeldic to explain why Zelda Wii U might become the ultimate open world RPG.
Let's face it, it's been a while since Zelda has throned the gaming world, both in terms of sales and in pushing boundaries. The best testimony of this has been the Skyward Sword vs Skyrim duel in 2011, which proved an urgent need for the franchise to evolve out of its linear and bound path. It seems that the series producer Eiji Aonuma and his development team at Nintendo EAD3 realised this, and set their target to make Zelda Wii U into the ultimate Zelda experience, with a completely seamless and boundless open world with the same unprecedented level of freedom found in titles such as The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim and from 2015's Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. From the initial tease in January 2013 through to the E3 reveal and the Game Awards in 2014 to the latest Nintendo Direct, Nintendo has proved that they're not afraid to challenge established conventions found in the Zelda franchise with the game. We believe that these are changes that will heavily benefit the franchise and evolve it to the next level.
The November 2015 Nintendo Direct gave us further confirmation of the massive scope of the incredibly detailed overworld found in this game, both by demonstrating what seems to be opponents' top speed and showcasing the impressive draw distance for a better impression of the sheer scale of Hyrule and the lengthy distances you will have to traverse even to nearby points of interest such as Death Mountain or the massive sea ocean that was shown for the first time at the end of this clip in the background. This assumption is based on the fact that the scene definitely took place in the eastern corner of the game map, which is supported by the ending shot of the short clip unveiling the vastness of the Great Sea in the distance and the hilly landscape. If getting to local points of interest in a specific province will take time, then imagine how long it will take to traverse from one side of the world map to the other. Transportation both on land in the form of a Epona, in the waters in the form of a boat, and maybe even in the sky in the form of a Loftwing, with a warping option will in this case become a necessity. We can almost confirm at this point that this will most likely be the lengthiest and most extensive Zelda experience.
Let's get right down to business by giving our approach on what the main theme of the tease might have been: crafting. The gameplay element saw its breakthrough in Skyward Sword and appears to be expanded in Zelda Wii U, but with some crucial differences. Since Skyward Sword's crafting was limited to upgrading your shields, bow and specific items, but not your sword for obvious reasons, and tunic. This seems to change in Zelda U, as the longsword or Big Goron sword seen in this clip is completely different to the steel sword we saw during the Game Awards. The same goes with the blue tunic, which might be one of many tunics that seem to be upgradable, as it has a different layout in this footage with the motive of the Master Sword. This could imply that Zelda Wii U will have a similar armor system to the one found in The Witcher 3, where you go to specific blacksmiths in order to upgrade your chest piece or armor.
But more interestingly, will Zelda Wii U's non-linear and fully open world introduce upgrades, craftsmanships from the beginning of the game? If the answer is yes, then this makes an interesting approach, as it might pinpoint at the non-chronological dungeons in the game to be rather difficult and require extensive preparations upon entrance. In other words, it appears that crafting will take a much more central stage in the game than in previous installments, and have a heavy impact on the game. You know what else will mark itself in the game? Magic, as we got another confirmation in the form of a glowing book with the Sheikah tearing eye to the already present green magic meter shown during last year's Game Awards, that this crucial gameplay mechanic will be re-implemented in the game. And speaking of races, I'm pretty certain that apart from the Hylians we can at this point confirm the presence of the Sheikah and the Goron tribes in the game. I highly doubt that the Sheikah book, the Big Sword and Death Mountain were coincidences, and the only question remaining at this point is how involved these two races will be in the game.
It isn't controversial to call the graphical art style of Zelda U special, and there are a few important reasons behind this. First and foremost, including the timeless cell shading technique found in Wind Waker and combining it with the expressionist art style found in Skyward Sword. The result is a game that looks like it would have been based directly on concept art, unlike The Witcher 3 or Fallout 4, which have had incredible concept arts but made the decision to keep the games as realistic as possible. To be honest, I must say that I applaud that the artists at Nintendo EAD3 decided to confront the pressure and have the courage to go for such a bold art style for their big transition game, which will bring Zelda into the future. The attention across the massive world to details such as outstanding light, bloom and weather effects is outstanding, and the field filled to the brim with single grass strands with small birds hiding within them. Extensive wildlife, realistic reactions of NPCs and enemies will make Zelda Wii U by far the most ambitious Nintendo project that will push boundaries and mark for a grand return of the Zelda series in 2016, its 30th anniversary.
Can't wait for what is next in store for us from Nintendo in terms of this game. Thank you so much for watching the Zelda Unknown special / analysis of the new gameplay clip and comparison to the Game Awards. Next week I will once again be joined by Zeltic to talk about the impact the original NES Zelda might have on Zelda Wii U. We will also appreciate if you want to like, share and comment under this video, and subscribe if you haven't done it already. Also, go and check out Zeltic's in-depth analysis of the Nintendo Direct 10-second clip, where I had the pleasure to share some of my opinions on the game. Finally, a huge shout out to Jessica Smith, who continues her incredible work on Zelda Wii U concept arts. The latest one, Zora's Domain, has been published on her website and her DeviantArt page. Links to that concept art is in the description below. Until then, this was the Commonwealth Realm. We will see you girls and guys next week.